Good morning. Mhm, mhm. I'm just gonna wait for a few people to hop on before I start. I have all my notes ready to go. Um, so, as you guys know, we're talking about online dating today. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, even though I'm usually, for everyone on Instagram, I am doing a live on Facebook, so I'm just going to film it on Instagram also in case you guys want the tips. So, good morning, good morning. I'll just go over a few things until a few more people show up. But yeah, I have all my notes. I sat and did a bunch of these notes yesterday, so I just don't want to forget anything. There's a lot of just jam packed tips that I just want to share and get out there. Um, so I have them written down. Um, I'm gonna crack a window really quickly. I don't know if anyone else is as warm as I am. Give me one sec. All right, I'm back. Okay, so welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? How is everyone coping? This coffee is gonna make it so much hotter, but that's fine. I hope you guys have your cup of coffee or tea or fresh squeezed juice or something. um, So thanks for joining me again. This is my first live where I'm not interviewing someone, where I didn't end up having all kinds of technical difficulties. So here we are. So the reason I want to talk about online dating is because, it's one of the main things that we could do right now to meet other people. And if your online dating profile is not good, if your online dating profile has been the same for a really long time, it's in need of an update. Even if it's a few months old at this point, it probably needs an update. Um, yeah, it's actually your profile, and I'll get into this in more detail later, but it's actually something that you should be updating often. Your profile is not meant to be a static. Um, it's not meant to be static. It's meant to change. And let me just get this. Okay. Okay, we're 5 minutes in. People can rewatch. Let's jump in. So, I'm going to cover three topics. Number one is, well, I'm going to cover two main topics and break it down into three ways. So, photos and content, obviously, like that is the structure of your dating profile. So, your photos have to be great, and sorry, one sec, and your content, your actual profile, obviously also has to be really, really great. So, we're going to cover that. I'm going to give you as much value as I can. Why I brought notes also is because I have some examples that I want to read out to you. Not examples of other people's profiles, because I really don't think you should copy someone else's profile. Just for the main reason that you're not going to get the exact results you really want. So we're going to cover photos, and then we're going to cover how you should actually write out your profile. What should it be about? And I don't want to spend too much time on photos, because I think at this point we know that we have to have really, really great photos. There's no gray area when it comes to photos. With the content, yeah, like there are some gray areas that, okay, like maybe you specifically should try this or write this if this hasn't been working for you. But photos, non-negotiable. You need really good photos right off the bat. That is what sells your profile. If your photos are not good, like don't even bother with the rest of your content. I would rather you online date now than not, because you don't have the photos that you really want to put up. So whatever, like just, I guess, go for it if it's serving you. But the whole point of having an online dating profile and putting in the time and effort is because you want results, and you will get way better results if you have good photos. Okay, photo tips on photos. Number one, you need at least, I would say, minimum 5 photos. Don't put less than 5 pictures. We want to see what somebody actually looks like. Do not post photos that are all the same. Do not post 5 selfies. Do not post 5 photos of you at work. Um, they have to be different. One thing that you always want to ask yourself when it comes to your dating profile is, how do you want to be perceived? Like, what kind of person do you want to appear as? What kind of person do you want to be perceived as by the opposite sex? So if you want to be perceived as a businesswoman or a family man, or how do you want to be perceived? Then ask yourself, do your photos represent this image that you identify with and that you want others to see you as? So that's just kind of like a base starting point. Next is your photos need to be bright and clear. I mean, I would almost give you an example if I could like close. I can't really do it right now, but your photos need to be bright and clear. If your photos are dark, grainy, uh, just don't use them. Don't put them up. So some very basic tips. Try not to put selfies. I'm just reading the comments. If you're gonna put any selfies, put one. Selfies are often just like, it's really to serve ourselves. We like take a picture, we want to look good. It's probably, your selfies are probably not offering very much value to the person reading your online dating profile. So one selfie max, if it's bright, if it's clear, if it really shows, ideally shows your personality. Maybe you're being silly, or I don't know, drinking a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. Like, at least it should offer something. On that note, all of your photos should offer some sort of glimpse into your life. So 5 of the same type of photos, that doesn't matter. You need photos that are going to give somebody some sort of idea about who you are. Another thing is, if you're going to have other people in your photos, let's say you want to show that you really value friends and family. So you do want to show a picture with all your friends at your last, birthday dinner or something. Put those photos at the end of your profile. The first few should be of just you, and they should not be pictures that are cropped. Those pictures that are cropped, like right on the side, and there's someone's like hand on your shoulder, and it's obviously a crop. Don't use those photos. Um, so that's really basic. Bathroom selfies is a no-go. Shirtless photos, obviously, men, don't do it. Grainy, dark, and girls, especially younger girls, photos with filters, like, absolute no. Ears, all that is 100% no. Um, Another thing I would say is, don't use professional photos. I don't think that having, a headshot is necessary. I don't think it's relatable for most people. So I would avoid professional photos. They're nice to have. They're great. They serve a purpose where they need to serve a purpose, but they don't belong on your online dating profile. So your professional shots, get rid of them. I don't think they look good, and I don't think they are very appealing to other people. Another thing is, your photos need to be inviting. You need to be smiling in your pictures. Um, like photos where you're giving some sort of like attitude, or you don't look happy. Cut all of those photos. You should be smiling. You should be making eye contact with the camera. You should avoid photos wearing sunglasses. Like, people want to see your face. And everything you should be asking yourself when it comes to online dating is, does this offer value to the person who's looking at this? Your profile is not about you. Like, it's about you, but it's not for you. It's for others. It's not meant to serve your ego. It's for others. It's to market yourself. And a comparison I always use is, and most of our clients are professionals, and something that you guys do so well is, you're so great when it comes to your professional life. So think about almost a comparison would be your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is not there for your own ego boost. You're not posting, like, you're posting a photo and content that is going to serve the people that are reading your LinkedIn profile. Your dating profile is the same. It is there to serve the people that are looking at your dating profile. It is there to get you matches. It is there to show who you are to other people, not for yourself. Not It's not to serve your own ego. Um, what else can I say about photos? So minimum 5. I think about 6 photos is actually ideal. One max 1 selfie. Everything should be really clear and bright. No cropped photos. And then ideally, you want to, if you're if you play sports, if anything that you're really passionate about, if you love cooking, show a photo of you, in the kitchen with whatever, like rolling dough or baking. Like, show something that really offers the person reading, what's this person like? What do they do in their spare time? If you love to travel, yeah, throw in one travel picture. Again, you want to appeal to many people, not just one type of person. So yeah, maybe it's a photo of you working out, or a photo with you and your dog, and a photo of you baking, and one just like nice, clear, pretty, attractive, handsome photo. It should really be appealing. And your first photo, um, your main profile picture should be clear. You should be able to see your face. You do also want to show your body type. There's no point in hiding what you actually look like. Like, save time. This is for you. Save time and don't mislead people. Show what you actually look like. Take great photos. It doesn't mean that you can't showcase your best photos. Um, you can still show your very best pictures, and still look like yourself. So that's really important. Another thing that I would say is, your photos should be current. So don't have pictures of you from Christmas today. Change them, even if it's a really nice Christmas shot, unless that photo serves some sort of other purpose. Uh, get rid of them. Your photos should be current. On our website, for example, we're not, when we're advertising an event, you guys don't want to come, you're not going to come to an event in the middle of summer and we're using a photo to advertise the event that, is like Christmas, winter vibes. So keep your photos seasonal. Keep it current with the seasons as they change. And another thing is outfits. Don't wear the same clothes. It's only 5 pictures. All 5 of your photos, or 6 of your photos, you should be wearing something different in each picture. It's very unlikely that you need to post 2 photos from the same day or same event. Don't do that. Choose 1 photo from whatever day. And if you're and wearing the same outfit from that are clearly 2 different days, I know you might be saying like these are shallow things. I'm not trying to talk about the psychology behind it right now. I'm just telling you what works. And these are the things that work. You need 5 photos. They need to be current. They need to be clear, crisp, colorful, happy, eye contact, no cropping, no bathroom selfies. This is what you need, and this is what works. So that's what I'm telling you. And if you want to like dive into, well, I should be able to be myself, my photo, I don't know what someone might be thinking, but this is what works, and that's what I'm telling you. If you follow these steps and this advice and revamp, if this is not already the case for you, and revamp your photos, you will definitely see a difference, 100%. So I don't know if I need to go over all that, but yeah, different clothes also. No professional photos. Photos with other people that are part of your life should come later on, like probably the last 2 pictures. And nothing braggy either. So there's a fine line between being proud of something that you do, or an accomplishment that you've had. But there's a fine line between that, which you absolutely can share. If you've won a medal or you're giving a speech, like if these are really important things in your life, you can post them. But it just shouldn't come off. Nothing should be braggy. You don't want to turn people away. Okay. Is that good? Should I read some of these what if you don't like taking photos of yourself? I suggest, oh, um, what about photos during quarantine around the house? Yeah, I think including a photo of your dog is a great, if you have a pet and this pet is a really big part of your life, that way you don't have to say in your, like, you can say volumes with some of your photos so that you don't have to waste time saying something in your profile. So if you have a dog or a cat and it's a really important part of your life, you can share that in your photo and then you don't really have to talk about it in your dating profile. You don't have to worry about people being allergic. You don't have to be like, dog lovers only, whatever. Like, if they see it, hopefully somebody who's deathly allergic to dogs or hates dogs, who would hate dogs though? But that person just won't match with you, and that's fine. Um, so taking photos, I agree. It's not. It can. It's. I know I'm saying it like whatever. I do understand, and I should address that. So thank you, Jennifer. I it can be hard to take your own photos. I suggest, and although we have an amazing professional photographer in the audience, I don't suggest professional photos for an online dating profile at all. I but I do suggest asking a friend, and I know you can't do that right now, but I do suggest, generally speaking, asking a friend to get together with you, a few outfit changes, go to a coffee shop, go to sit outside at a park, even in your apartment, and just ask your friend to take some pictures of you with their phone, with their iPhone, whatever, um, and that's it. And I've done that for clients, for friends, and we just go out and we're just like, we'll sit down, we'll pick up a coffee, we'll go, by the water at a park and take a few photos. So if you are living with somebody right now, and again, I'm not like, I mean, I know there's all these rules, but if you can just like, if you have a balcony or a backyard, outside photos in the daytime are the best. Again, you don't want all your photos to be outside, but the lighting, that's all you need. You just need to be outside with daylight. Right now, I'm using, the only light I have is daylight. I'm just using, so if I, it's even better, I think. Anyways, daylight is your best friend. It's that's all you need. But yeah, ask a friend to take some photos, warm up, get comfortable, take 100 photos, who cares, and choose 3 that work for you. But what I'm saying right now is I'm not saying that this doesn't take effort. It does take effort, but it's absolutely worth the time investment. This is key, 100% key. So what about photos during quarantine? So yeah, so like I said, you can take photos around your house. Like I said, right outside if you are whatever you can do. Even right now, take a few pictures. Send them to your friends. Ask for their advice. Don't get too caught up in what other people say. But if you really, really don't know if this is what you should be posting, get a second opinion. Okay, content. I shared this last time, but it's a really important point, and I'm going to give you guys some examples. So a lot of people, one of the biggest mistakes I see for online dating profiles is that people talk about what they are looking for in a partner. And it might seem like that's obvious to do that. Um, it's really not what you're supposed to be doing. You don't want to talk about I'm looking for XYZ in a partner. I don't even think part of your profile should be about that unless you have a really, really specific situation and like for whatever reason you really need to filter certain people out if it's super religious and anyways, if you've experimented and it's pointless to not mention something very specific, fine. But in terms of the like characteristics that you're looking for, none of that should be included. So none of the I'm looking for somebody smart, funny, ambitious, kind, generous, none of that. So here's why. Most people think they are that person. So when you're saying, I want to meet someone smart, funny, generous, kind, ambitious, you're not actually filtering anyone out. And the point of your profile is to filter people out. It's to get higher quality matches, not more matches. It's to get better matches. And that might mean less matches, but at least they are people that are better suited for you. You were going to waste less time by, um, you're going to waste less time that way. So what do I mean by talking about yourself? So I shared this last time, and then I ended up getting a message saying that my suggestion was vague, and what do I really mean to talk about yourself and not the other person? So I'm going to give you an example. This is actually the example I wrote out to her the other day. So instead of writing, I'm looking to meet someone who loves travel, enjoys cooking, is ambitious, and values self-improvement. Okay, that's so many people. And it's also so many people who actually don't fit that profile will still identify with that statement. So I'm just going to read it one more time. I'm looking to meet someone who loves to travel, enjoys cooking, is ambitious, and values self-improvement. Okay. Does it sound like there's anything wrong with that? Probably not. But this is how you take something like that where you're talking about what you're looking for, and this is how you flip it and talk about yourself instead to attract the person who likes travel, enjoys cooking, is ambitious, and values self-improvement. You would write in your profile, I love to travel. I just got back from Hawaii, and my next trip will be to Peru in October. My favorite thing about traveling is being exposed to the different ways of living around the world, and I also love trying all different types of cuisine. I love to cook, and I do so every night. On weekends, I cook less because I tend to go out more. On weekends, I go out less. On weekends, I cook less because I tend to go out more while balancing my social outings with a course in finance that I'm taking on the side right now. Self-development is something I strongly value and prioritize no matter how busy life gets. So that is a much more appealing way. It's much more enjoyable. I would much rather read a profile that said that than, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say it again. But so in that, you're explaining that you love to travel. You're explaining the kinds of places that you travel. There's a few other things in here that are really important, but I'm going to bring them up a little bit later. So in here, you're taking a finance course on the side of your work. So that shows that you value self-improvement. You talk about balancing your social outings with your finance course. So it talks about you are a social person. This is what we know about this person. She likes to travel. She likes to travel to exotic places. She likes to cook. She cooks a lot at home. She cooks every night. So she probably is the type of person that, she's not maybe into eating out too much. That says a lot. On weekends, she goes out. She has friends. She's taking a finance course. She's a smart girl. And she strongly values and prioritizes self-improvement no matter how busy life gets. So she also has a busy and what sounds like a fulfilling life. These are, I don't know, 5 sentences, and you know so much about her. You know so much about this person. So that's one example. Just to go from how to do a flip from taking what you're looking for to actually talking about yourself. This is what your profile should be like. It should be about you, and it should be about your experiences. One of the most important things in what I just read is that she just got back from a trip to Hawaii, and that her next trip will be to Peru in October. Quarantine aside, COVID aside, let's just say that was the case. What else does that tell me about this profile? It tells me that it was recently written or recently updated. And one of my most important points for today is that you have to keep your online dating profile fresh. It needs to be fresh. When you're looking for advice or tips or news, you don't want news that's even a week old. You don't want tips that are from 2017. You don't want that. You want what is the newest and freshest. That is what we are drawn to when we are looking for anything. So that it's such a simple thing for you to take advantage of right now to keep your profile fresh, because just by using words like, I put some examples. This summer, I'm planning to. I just recently signed up for. I just started to whatever. Last week, I took my first kickboxing class. So last week, this summer, this past winter, I XYZ. Um, so those kinds of that kind of language will attract people to your profile a lot more. I've even gone as far as suggesting to, depending on the, this doesn't really work for like a match.com profile, but for shorter form profiles on dating apps, I've even gone as far as to suggest referencing anything that's happening today. So if it's Sunday and you are really in the mood to chat on Sunday or be on a date by Sunday evening or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and again, I'm speaking about dating profiles in general right now, but you can use even the day of the week as, change your opening line. Be like, let's say it's Sunday morning. Sundays are for um, Sundays are for coffee and relaxing. Sundays are binge, Netflix binge day, whatever. So referencing like what the point in time that it is right now will also, people scrolling through your profile on Sunday are going to respond to your profile way more than they would respond to someone else's profile that's, fairly similar. So really use anything that's happening today. One thing that I noticed that we've been getting right now is we do, for all of our speed dating events, you have to submit a screening profile first. And there's a question for us, it's for our team to review, but there's a question that says like, what are you up to these days? So every time we get one of these, people aren't talking about what they were up to, what they're up to in life in general. They're actually talking about what they're up to these days, and that is exactly how you should be approaching the content of your profile, because you can use what's happening right now as a really great icebreaker for your dating profile. So all the questionnaires that we've been getting have been like, well, during this time of self-isolation, during quarantine, ever since this started, I've been doing. So they've really, everything we've been getting has been very current. And that is something that you can do. You can create a quarantine profile that you could use for the next little while, that it's like, well, now that, now that I'm stuck at home, or, with everything that's going on right now, I am still working, but like most, I'm working from home, whatever. But reference what's happening right now, because it really is a great icebreaker, and it shows that you recently updated your profile, and that you're available to talk to now. Like, that's really what should be on your profile right now. Okay, let me make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I know that a question I'm going to get is, or what people are thinking is, I want a serious relationship. How do I say that I want a serious relationship in my dating profile? So your dating profile really needs to sound exciting. It needs to sound inviting. It needs to be appealing. So here's a way that you can say that you are looking, that you want a serious relationship without having to spell it out. Because when you spell it out, nobody wants to hear that. It's just, even if they are looking for a serious relationship, still nobody wants to read like, I'm looking for a serious relationship. But another way that you could go about it is you could say something like, you could end with something like, I've dated and it's been a blast. I'm now ready and excited to meet someone, find love, and share my life. Again, you're not going to filter out everybody. Men, women who are not necessarily looking for a serious relationship may still contact you, but it will have that at least one added layer of filtering out, because you're not saying that you want to go on a date or hook up, but you are saying that I'm now ready and excited to meet someone, find love, and share my life. Like, that's a nice way to say it. And it's very much the same as I'm looking for a serious relationship, but just said in a way that that will attract more people. Um, Another tip I'm going to give you, just one more example is I had a client. Yes, I had a client, and she was um, in her 40s. Uh, in her 40s, sorry. Um, had never had children, did not want children, and didn't want to meet a man who was tied down by children. She was open to meeting a single dad, but it was really important to her that he either didn't have custody of his kids or have his kids very whatever. Like she was open to meeting single dads, and by ruling out single men, she would be significantly narrowing the pool of potential candidates that she could meet. So I said to her, I'm like, it's really important that if you're open to meeting a single dad, you need to find a way in your bio to emphasize the freedom, that you really value your freedom, but not turning off men who have children. So her bio originally had said, I'm not looking to meet a man who's tied down by their kids. It's just a tough sentence to get by, because even if you're not tied down by your kids, even if you only see your kids once every second weekend, even if your kids live in another city, you're going to get an impression from this woman that she doesn't like kids. And even though you're not tied down, and even though you could be a great match, the man is probably not going to reply to someone that said that. So instead, what we did with her profile is we emphasized how much she values her freedom. And so we wrote something like, um, what did we write? Yeah, so she talked about that she's a really spontaneous person, how much she values the freedom that she has in her life right now, how her work doesn't take up too much of her time. So she has a lot of time to invest into her relationship, into her relationships, and into social outings. And she talked about how she loves that she can be spontaneous and pick up and on a whim decide to take a weekend road trip or a little or mini vacation. So somebody who doesn't have that kind of time or freedom right now, that bio, that profile shouldn't appeal to them, because if they're reading about someone who has all the time in the world, and wants to pick up on a whim and head off on road trips and whatever on the weekends, if you have responsibilities on the weekends, you're not going to reply to that profile. So that is another example of a way of taking something that could sound negative and instead turning it into a positive and really just expressing yourself and how you feel about life. And again, that should filter out people that are not filter out some people that are not best suited for you, and again, attract the right people. Um, I think that's going to be it for today. The last thing I'm gonna say is one small tip, which is kind of on the lines that I was just um, what I was just talking about, is you really need to use positive language in your profile, nothing negative. I have reviewed profiles from clients, and everything just sounds so dreary and like down and negative, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear about what you don't want, what you don't like. And I put an example here. So anything that's in your profile that sounds even slightly negative, there should be no negative language. So anything that says I don't, or I'm not the kind of person who, even if you're saying a great thing, even if you're saying like um, I don't I don't like bullies, for example. Okay, like nobody likes bullies. You don't need to say that you don't. First of all, you don't need to say that you don't like bullies. It'd be weird. It would be weird if you did. So, but I'll give you I'll give you a bit of a better example. So instead of saying something like, "I'm not the type of person who watches TV," let's just say that's you don't watch TV, you much prefer reading. But instead of saying I'm not the type of person who watches TV, which is negative, I'm not, you would say I'm the type of person who would choose books over TV any day. Smiley face, book emoji, whatever. So again, it's such a small thing, but it says so much more. And you will again attract someone who feels that same way, but you may lose the attention of the person who reads just the negative. I'm not the type of person who watches TV. I really like to read. So again, I'm the type of person who I'm the type of person who would choose books over TV any day. It's just a nicer way of framing of framing the exact same thing. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that, unless there's any questions. How do you get creative with the initial message? So I'm not going to get into actual online dating strategy today. We're going to cover that next Saturday. Today was strictly profiles. Online dating in general, it's a really big topic. We can sit here for hours and go in so many different directions and give you so many examples. Next Saturday morning, same time, same place. I will be doing a live on actual online dating strategy. So messages and all kinds of stuff. But it will be once you have your profile is the first part. Any dating app you go on, you can't get started unless you have a profile. And I don't want to dive into like online dating strategy until you have fixed up your profile. You may not be able to get it to 100%, based on everything that we talked about today, but I know for sure it can be improved. So that will be the topic for today. I see the same profiles online from years ago. Exactly. That's the problem. So you need to find a way to stand out, and those profiles they're just there. If you want to attract new people, and somebody that by updating your profile, somebody who's a great match for you that swiped by you in the past may not swipe by you this time around because you've changed things up. You have changed. We are changing all the time. Your online dating profile is not meant to be static, and this is actually great news because I find a lot of people get really caught up when they're creating their profile, they're so caught up with making it perfect then and there that it actually doesn't end up being as good as it could be if you go in with the mindset, okay, like I'm just going to get something up that really represents me, that's fun and cute and charming, because you can change it. If it's not working, you can change it, and you should be changing it regularly. Real turn off, see the same guys. Yeah, that's the other thing. And if you have been online for a long time and if you have been seeing a lot of the same profiles, this is definitely an opportunity. Revamping your profile is an opportunity to not be coined that person that is on every single dating app, and it's the same guy. On that note, actually, I'm glad I just read this comment because if you are on multiple dating profiles, don't put the exact same profile on every single one, and definitely change if you have different photos that you can use. Definitely use different photos on each of your dating profiles, but at the very least, make sure that you're not using the same main profile picture on the different apps that you're on. In a profile, should you talk about important event that explain a very long period of? Yeah. Okay, so this question is in a profile. It's very specific, but I'll share it anyways because there may be something else, something similar or as serious that you are debating about sharing or not. So in a profile, should you talk about important events that explain a very long period of celibacy or keeping it upbeat and funny? I mean, I think you guys know what I'm going to say. I feel that you should not necessarily overcome someone with personal drama. Okay, no serious shit in your online dating profile. This is just a little glimpse into your life, into the kind of person, into your best self. There will be years to uncover all of the baggage and BS that we all have. So no, your like I said, nothing negative goes into your profile. Not even the word like not, if you can avoid it. Positive language, happy, upbeat, fun. You want to come across as a person that is fun to be around. That when we're already dealing with so much stuff, it's already challenging enough to meet somebody. So we want to keep this light in the beginning. Even your first date should be, don't come out with all the heavy shit right away. I I talk about this often. I really don't believe that a first date, people are like, but I should be honest and transparent. It's not the time to, it's not a therapy session. You are there to connect and enjoy your dates, um, for yourself and for the other person. You don't want someone leaving a date feeling like, wow, that was a lot. That person's messed up. Like, no, we're not sharing all this information. And usually, when the other person leaves feeling like, wow, this person was so honest and open and transparent, it goes downhill usually very quickly after that. So nothing like that in your dating profile. Guy who writes, please ask. People who were badly burnt are so afraid of the word relationship. Okay, well, for one, you don't have to cater to other people's um, baggage. That's not your responsibility. If your profile is well written and you use the word relationship, that's on you. But I did share earlier that there are other ways of saying, that you're looking for a relationship. Just being, I'm excited to meet someone. I'm excited to share. I think just the word love is so powerful. Nobody can cringe at the word love. So I love the idea of saying I'm so excited to find love. Who doesn't want to meet someone who's excited to fall in love? So I would suggest that. Um, Negative language it's unappealing. Yeah, it's unappealing. Should we switch photos every week? I think that there is a fine line between keeping your profile relevant and current and fresh, but also making it a chore for yourself. And we will talk about this more next week, um, which is more about strategy, because ultimately dating is supposed to be fun, and my goal for you guys is to make sure that you are doing things that that keep you excited about dating, and make, like, you should want to date online. You should want to date online. And so many people just find it to be a chore and find it exhausting, and they're not getting the matches, and it just doesn't result in anything. It really doesn't have to be like that. So we will get into more of that stuff next week. I just really want you guys to focus on your profiles right now. I know it's a challenging time. And you're going to have to get a little bit more creative if you can't update your photos right now. But yeah, you can if you have no choice, if you could use your timer, if you have a tripod, you can order, if you really want to take it, for 7, 8, 20 bucks, you can order a tripod off Amazon. You can set it up in front of your window, and, you could sit down with a cup of coffee, and take a photo. Use the timer on your phone and take some photos. But yeah, I want you to get to do your homework and get your profile set up first. And you can replay this just if you want to listen to that example I gave before about how to make your profile about you. Keep these questions at the forefront. Am I offering value to the person who is reading this? Am I selling myself in the way that I want to be perceived by the opposite sex? Do these photos serve me, or do these photos serve the person actually looking at me? Do these photos look like me? Even saying in your profile, like, when these photos were taken, like, hey, if you swipe through my pictures, you probably saw a picture of me skiing that was taken just this last winter. I know, so skiing is an example. If you are going to have a winter photo, it should only, again, offer value. If you're an avid skier, then yeah, have a skiing photo. But if you can reference when these photos were taken, again, that will be appealing to someone who's reading your profile. I only date white guys. In my, yeah. You know, it's just such a kind of tasteless line to write, I only date white guys. It's just an example, even if that's the case. Um, it's just an example of you know, in your case, Greg, it's an example of saving time. It's not, you know, be thankful that this person is not wasting your time and just putting it out there. It's not something that I would ever suggest writing in your profile. So I think that's it. I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, you know, you can keep this thread going. We do come back and check it, and we'll answer your questions. If you have any questions, you can always um, email us at hey@dashingdate.com, HEY @dashingdate.com. I really didn't want to say this, but I'm just going to say it because I'm just going to say it. If you want to, I'm not going to guarantee you a time frame that we'll get back to you within, but if you want to run, you know, if you want to send us a screenshot of your dating profile to our email and just have us take like a quick once over, send it, and we'll try our best to take a look and give you a little bit of feedback if we can. But I think that's it. So good luck. Update your stuff. Use this week. Look at examples online. Don't copy any examples, but look at examples. Rewatch this if you need to take a few more notes. And yeah, next week we will do online dating part 2, but it'll be completely based on strategy. So I hope you guys will join me again. Okay, so enjoy your Saturdays. Stay safe, stay home, and I will see you guys soon.